Hello, can you guys hear me now? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Please say something.
Yes, good afternoon. I can hear you now.
All right, that's good. So, how was our weekend? It went well. Hope your weekend went well.
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine. Thank God.
Okay,
How about
that's good
yours
to
too?
know. Mine was great as well. I don't know. Anytime I visit class on Monday, it doesn't always work out. Maybe our host will be kind of busy. Though there was no class yesterday, Sha. Like there was no class, so I think you guys needed to rest as well. But nevertheless, Sha, we're going to be continuing from where we stopped, and still on VJS. Remember from the previous class, I gave an assignment, but I don't think the assignment has been published. So I don't know. You guys should just check your dashboard and tell me if it has been published. Because I tried checking, but I didn't see any assignment, so I don't really know. I've messaged the admin. I've messaged him though to confirm if the assignment has been posted. Because if it has been posted and you've done it, that will give you a, how will I put it, a good insight of what we're about to go into today. At least I'll know that okay, you now know what Vue.js is, you now know how to set it up manually and so on and so forth. So today we're not going to be doing that manual setup. We're going to be using the Vue.js CLI. So just you guys should kindly confirm, is the assignment is it on your dashboard? Just try and confirm. While you're doing that, let me just get my stuff ready. Let me bring out the things I need.
I'm not sure if the assignment is there. The one that is here is project intro component with sign up.
For Vue.js or
I'm not sure if this is Vue.js. This one is
okay, I don't.
JavaScript. It's
Okay,
JavaScript.
pure JavaScript. Okay, okay. But I talked with the admin. He said we upload it last night, so I don't know. Maybe he forgot. So I will message him again. So
Okay.
let us continue. So I will just do a recap of our previous class, and after the recap, we jump into what we're supposed to be doing. And also, I don't think the videos for the classes has been published as well. Though I made a record of it, I will also speak with him if I'm to send my recording to him, or he already has it online because the meeting is being recorded online as well. So I don't know. I will communicate with him, then maybe send the videos, and you guys can get it. So,
Okay.
like I said, let's do a revision of our previous week stuff. Let me add it and share my screen. Last week. All right. Okay, this is it, I guess. So let me share my screen. Okay, this is it. Let me share my screen. Before I share, let me do my local record here as well. All right. So, uh, I guess you guys can see my screen now. I guess you can see my screen now.
It's just coming up. Okay. Yes.
Okay,
Yes, I can see that.
okay, that's good. Now, in our previous class, we looked at not the regular Vue.js. So we did a little project with Vue.js. Okay, so the project was very simple, just to fetch data from an API and do something. So let me run it. Open with live server, right? Open with live server. So this is a random user guesser. Why is it taking so long to render the image? Get random. Oh, let me check. Seems like I have commented something. Uh, Okay, I just noticed that I've commented the JavaScript, so let me uncomment and reload the page. Okay, good. It has reloaded. So this is the live. These are informations coming from a database. When I get a random user, it will change. When I click it to get another random user from the get random user API, right? It's a free API. So just like the way we have JSON type code placeholder for testing, that's how we have this one for testing as well. So this is returning an object. Then from that object, we did our normal method to get the different properties of the object, which are first name, last name, and so on and so forth. So when I click to get a random user, and also you notice that when the gender of the user is a male, it will give this round blue border and these are blue button. So when it's a female, it will give a pink color. Uh, Okay, can you see it now to give a pink color? So this is very easy using Vue.js. So let me just give a run through of the code. So normally these are HTML. It's just a div with an ID of app, then an issue and saying get random user. Then this vbind. Now forget about the vbind. We've not gotten to that part, so I will come back to there. Like just assuming this is a blank HTML, there's no logic yet. That's what I want you guys to assume, right? And this is my script.js that's linking in. So by the time I go to my script.js, and the first thing we'll do is first is to create a view app. If you guys could remember from last week's class, create a view app by using the view.create app, right? Then after that, I will mount the app by using app.mount. Is that not so? This is not supposed to be here. This is not supposed to be here. I'm just trying to do something else. So we'll get it by using app.mount. Then this is where the main logic comes in. You get. So, but we didn't just do it like this. First of all, we'll go with dummy data, then try to set up our styling and everything. So what we're just doing here is to use the data method. Remember, in Vue there are key methods we can use, or let me say key properties in Vue.js. One of them is the data, one of them is method, one is computed, and the other one is there's one last guy as well, but I can't really remember. But just take note, we can use data, we can use method. Now, what is the data? We said data runs when the page renders or when the page loads, right? For the first time. So whatever I'm getting here, these are information. You could pass any variable of your choice. So what I'm just doing, I'm passing this variable first name, last name, email, picture, gender, and date of birth. Then for method, we said the method are functions or they are custom functions that we create, right? So that they can do something as well, right? So take note of that. Now, any function I create inside of this method has the ability to access anything from my data. You get, so that's why I gave it different last week. If you remember our last week class, I tried to give a difference or comparison between this and object-oriented programming, right? Whereby you have a class or a function object that's been created, and you have different methods to get things from that object. So that's just it. That's basically what's happening. Then remember, this is my fetch method, so I can write an async method, async get random user, then fetch. So it's just to reassign everything. Remember, like I said, this is your global. Then from here, anything I define in the method can be accessed. So if you can see, I'm using the this.first name to reassign this guy again. So whenever I do this, I remember I said something. I said methods are called when we click on an HTML or they are being invoked through HTML event. So if you look, we're using the v on method, right? So we're using the v on method and so on and so forth. And also to render these guys, to render an image or any of the variable in this image, we also use the v bind. Is that also? We also use and remember, I said something. I said the vbind goes together with HTML attribute. If you see now, I'm using vbind and I'm using class with it, right? So gender, this gender class, that's what we use to style the color, right? So if I open my CSS, you notice that there's a male class and a female class. So whatever is coming to that gender inside my script.js, which is this, is being changed later on. So it's a very simple application. The assignment I gave was quite similar to this, like very, very similar. It's something you could get easily. But now I want to show you something. There are shortcuts for some of these things. You get now typing out vbind. Let me be sure we're following. Let me be sure we're following. I guess we are following. I'll just say something, not drop an emoji. I guess we are following. I guess we are following. Please let me be sure we are following. Just say something or drop an emoji, any one of your choice.
Yeah, we are following.
Okay. So that's nice. Now, what's it called? I said there are some short methods I can use in writing out this vbind. Now, whenever I want to write vbind, I can just use an ordinary column. You get, so by the time I remove this, this is the same thing as doing vbind as well. Remember, it's vbind column, so you can just use an empty column. You get where vbind is also equal to this empty column. You can use them for each other. So vbind column this is equal to that. So take note of that. So let me remove that. Then also let me go back and reload. Let's see if any change will occur. By the time I come back and reload, you can see that it's still working. So it's still working. When I click, I'm also getting my random users, right? That's for that. Then also I also want you to know that instead of using this what's it called, v on can be replaced with hash sorry, an at symbol directive. This is similar to something in Laravel. I think I've used the templating ng before, but this is just similar to it. So instead of saying v on click, I can simply use at click, so you see the same directive, right? So please take note of that. So as we proceed, whichever directive you see, because I really can't remember everything as of now, so whichever one I see and I feel like okay, there's a shortcut for it, I also use the short method. You can see the click is also working. So take note of that. So that's for that. That's for that. So today's class, we are not going to be using this method anymore. You get. Remember, we said Vue.js can be implemented on website, web pages or website that already exists. Maybe I just want to make a small component of it to be, reactive and fast. So things like that. So that's when you do something like this. But Vue.js can also be used to create a standalone application. As I said, it can power a full website, right? Taking care of the routes, taking care of everything. Remember, I said for this front-end framework, what they do is that when you make a request to your server, it interjects. That is to say, after the first request, it blocks it. Then whatever request you are making, the routing system or the logic of that framework will be the one to give you all the pages. So there's nothing like page reload. So let me demonstrate this. If I go to food, I just want to show you something. If I go to food.a2z.com and I go to GP view blog, right? I also want to show you this one. Let me just show you this one. Graceful. So just say something. This was built with traditional PHP. Then this was built with Vue.js, which is a front-end framework. This is built with React.js, which is also a front-end website. Now you notice that for traditional website, when I'm clicking on the page, now see what is happening. Now I want to click on home page. In fact, the website is still loading. It has not rendered completely. You can see that it's kind of slow time. But look at this view blog. It has loaded. See that there's no page reload. When I click on this page, I'm going to different routes, but there's no page reload. The reason is because this is a single page application. Also for this, when I click on this, the challenge is not okay. Good, it has been completed. When I click on login, this is what is happening. There's no page reload. And I click on fast, you get very fast. So there's now, like I said, the front end framework that's also the logic behind it has already what the routing system. So there's not like page reload, there won't be reload of any page. You get. So when I come, this one is still domain hosting. So let me just go to W3 school and let's see what we get from. Oh, it's open already. Now, in this W3 on this W3 school website, you notice that WTS school website was built with PHP or is built with PHP. When I click on this course, you notice that the whole page is reloading. Can you see what is happening? And it's taking time to fetch the other data. When I click on SQL, the whole page is also reloading, which is not a good experience, right? So that's why it is advisable to use front-end framework, or if you want to be a front-end developer, it's advisable to know at least one or two of the front-end framework. So React and Vue. So we are not going to be focusing on React. So let me close this. So the same thing. Remember, I said they do the same thing. It's just that different approach. And, they are doing the same thing basically. When I click on this, you notice that I'm going to a different route, but the page is not reloading, right? So there's a routing system that's being used. So how do we go about that? Remember, I said this front end framework. The, it's a single page application, right? We said that they are used to build single page application. And when I say single page, now what do I mean? If you look at this create blog page and so on and so forth, so where is the single page application? Where is that now coming from? Where is it coming from? And the reason is because this is saving a single HTML file. So you see all of this stuff, they are inside one HTML file. You get the thing is that they are being injected dynamically. Don't know if you get my point. So let's just go back to the Bluetooth school and let me show you something. Now this is the Vue project. If I go to index.html, you notice that this is the only HTML file we see for the whole of this website, right? This is the only HTML file. This is the div with an ID of app. In fact, before we do, let me just create the one we're going to be using for this class. So there's no need of going to look at any previous one. So what will happen? I'll close this guy, close this one, right? I believe we are familiar with the. Let me go back to the browser. Let me see you guys. I believe we are familiar with the how the use of terminal. So if you don't know how to use terminal, it's not really good practice. As a developer, you must know how to use terminal, right? What is terminal? Now, if you remember very well when you were young, you guys normally watch these sci-fi movies where somebody will be doing hacking. You see writing of code, not this VS code you are seeing. Like you see terminal, something like this. Let me open my bash. Sorry, I spelling back. So git bash. So is a CLI tools because it's called command line interface and graphic there. Unlike your deck so and so forth. But for this, if I want to create a folder, I just run command. But I'll be making use of my VS Code terminal. So going to open this, then click on this part, terminal, new terminal, right? So just to go there. Now there's something you need to note. Let me zoom in. Now this is showing that I'm in my users admin desktop VJS project. You get so I want to go out of this. So there's a command I will use. I'll say cd space dot dot. So I can clear my screen by using CLS. If I want to see all of the folders inside of this directory, I can do something like ls. It will list all of the folders, right? If I want to see more detailed information, I'll do something like ls but I don't think that works in VS Code terminal. That I think for that we use Git because that command is conformed to the Unix operating system. But for now, let's just keep that. That's another topic on its own. Now, I want to create my folder inside of this folder directory. So what I need to do is to see MK. Oh, I'm not creating a folder. I'm starting a new project. Sorry. So now let's go back to our browser. I don't just want to start it. I want us to follow together. You get. So you can come back to your browser, search for VueJS.com. You can go to the quick start, right? Or you can select. Now the beautiful thing about being a programmer is knowing what to do and how to do it, or knowing what to do and where to get it. You get. So I want to start a what's it called? A Vue project. So I can just search for starting the Vue project. I will see the guide on how to start it, or I can come to the official documentation, right? Now, on this documentation, I'll look for quick start or getting started. So you can see there's an npm, there's a pm, there's a yarn, there's a bunch, all of them. So I'm using npm just to copy this link, right? Then go back to my so I'll go back to my terminal. So I'm creating a Vite project. Sorry, time. It's not supposed to take time like this. Okay, now see what's telling me saying Vue.js, the progressive web framework. I see the project name. Now, what does this mean? Remember ternary operator. For project name, do I want to use Vue.js? If I want to use it, I will leave it. But if I don't want to use it, I will just type something else. So I want to say Zuri CLI Vue. Okay, let me say Zuri Vue CLI, right? So Zuri Vue CLI. So now it's telling me, do I want to use TypeScript or JavaScript? Now, this is yes or no. I can use my navigation button to move. So I want to take no. Then do I want to add GSS support? Just don't worry. So are you adding a view router? Yes, I need the view router. Adding pinner for state management. No, I don't want to do state management. Add the right test unit. No, let's just click no. Then now it's telling us, okay, add an end to end. Okay, no, just this is a beginner class. Yes, links. No, 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 no. Are you adding no to do? Okay, let's go. Now this has been created for us. Now, if you see, they are telling us that okay, fine, we're done. And it said we should cd. Remember, I said cd just now means to change directory. So you can as well copy and paste this, but I just want to type a cd, right? This has been created. I'll say zu and zuri underscore c. So zuri underscore view. I'm sorry, zuri underscore view underscore cli. Oh, I have class. Okay, view CLI. So okay, that's that. Then I'll run npm install. If you look, it's saying I should run npm install, right? So which is this command? I'll also run it. Now, what with this command? It will install all of the packages I need, npm install. But before I do that, let me just bring back let me bring the folder so that you see why I'm doing this. When I add underscore view, right? View CLI. So when I add now, you notice that my project has been it has the public, it has the source, you know, yes. So I need to install. That's why I need this what's it called? I need to run this command. That's why I needed to run this npm install so that it will install all of the other packages I need. And after installation, I'll run npm done to start up the local development server. So while that is installing, let me be sure we are following. So come back to the browser. Where are we? Sorry. Okay, this is it. So hope we are following. Okay, I guess we are following. Okay, still
Yes,
installing. Uh, Okay. Now, if your system is with you, you can also follow the process, like try to install yours. But if you feel like okay,
sorry,
you just want to follow through the class, then later on, that's also fine.
Yeah, sorry. Are we using Vite? Okay, this is Vite, right?
How will I put it? Vite and what's it called? Vite and Vue, I think is same company also that created them. So not that we're using Vite, but it's something about Vite related to Vite. So you just go to the Vue. I think they're using. So when you go to this website, just get this. It uses Vite by default. I don't really. I think both of them are same company that owns them also, something like that.
Because initially there's something I post I saw you can still use Webpack.
Can you hear me?
There was a tutorial I was watching. The guy was using Webpack. I think it was still on Vite was still on beta, so maybe that's why they just released it. So
Okay, okay. So the thing is that most of this stuff, I think there used to be a method, like maybe there's a way they are doing it without this step, just like the way we have create React app before. I don't know if you get my point. Before create React app got deprecated, and then I started using Vite for something like that. So I just like Vite is kind of gaining popularity or taking control of everything now. But nevertheless, the bottom line is that provided we've been able to create our Vue.js project and we are able to do something, that's just it. So if there's another method you know and you feel like it's still good, you can try that on your own, which I believe there is because this no, I don't think this is the latest method of doing this rather. So that's just it. So I believe we're clear with that. So npm run dev, right? So that is the next command I'm supposed to run. When I do npm run dev, I will get what I need. And this will speed up the local development server. So that will be on local port 5173. So I just to copy this URL and paste it on my browser, right? When I paste this what I will get. So let me just close this. So this is the default or dummy to this VJS. So it's using Vite plus Vue. You get so it's using Vite, like I said. So yeah, so this is just like, okay, their dummy page, your installation was successful. You can view their documentation to read about them. This project is self right or is bundled with, okay, self and bundled, okay, that's good. Then the ecosystem, blah 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 blah, community support stack. So that's just like them trying to sell themselves. So all I have to do now is to go back. Let's see what's going on over here, right? So what's going on? Now take note, if you click on any of these links, VJS.org website or so on and so forth, you get. If you click on any of them, it will take you to different websites. This one will take you to Vi, this one will take you to VS Code, this will take you to Vola, or GitHub Vola, and so on and so forth. But let's go back to our, what's it called? Let's go back to our VS Code. There's something I want to, okay, I'm coming. Okay, I'm sorry. I want to reply the admin, I'm coming. Okay, so let's continue. So, as concerning the assignments, I think he asked me something which I didn't respond to. So let me just see. Now, this thing is now running, like I said. So let's go and see what does this thing contains, the folder and file structures and so on and so forth. By the time I go back to my VS Code, now, remember, now this is just an extension that is doing nothing really good, but you just need to leave it. Then now this is my node modules. Now what does node module means? All of the packages that we are using, this is where they are being installed to, right? This is like the engine of this stuff, of this. So remember the time we ran that npm install. That's when this node modules came in. So please take note of that. Then we have the public folder. The public folder contains our favicon. I think for some projects, the public folder also contains the index.html. Please take note of that. They also have the source. The source is where the main logic is, which will say the place you are writing your code. And inside of this source, I have assets, which will be my images, my CSS, SVG, and so on and so forth. And I also have my component folder, which are these things you are seeing. Hello world, the welcome view. So this is just like a folder structure. Then we have the routing. So they've already given us a routing that will follow, right? So please take note of that. In fact, let me just close this. They're giving us a routing, right? So they're trying to say if I want to create chat, I should just see this pattern. And I have the, what's it called? The views, right? Views are the part we are seeing on the web page, which to say the pages, right? About view and home view. So please take note of that. Then I have the app.view. This is the model or the root component. Now, what does this guy? What is it doing? This is where every other views will be imported to such that they cannot be rendered on the browser. You get. Now the reason is because if you look at this place, this is where we have the something I'm looking for. Okay, if you look at this, this component is being exported to my main.js, right? Coming. Um, Now, if you look at this main.js, remember when we were doing our Vue.js manually, first of all, the first thing we'll do inside our JS file is to create an app, so a variable, right? We'll create a variable, then we'll use view.render. But now I don't need to do that. You get it? Because I'm importing this create view API or this create view method from the view library itself, right? Then I'm now importing app from the view. I'm also importing router. Then now const app equal to create app, which is what we were doing before. Then add the app inside, then app.use router, then app.mount this app. Now this ID of app is coming from this place, this what's it called? Div with an ID of app. Then this is linking JavaScript files, the link JavaScript file and so on and so forth. So please take note of that setup. So you don't need to bother yourself about it. I'll tell you something. You have the JS config to do configurations, package log. Okay. So package.json is one of the most important one here. Now what does this package.json, what is it doing? This is where all of my dependencies will be listed on, right? And I can also do some settings here, like things like my dev. Now, when we run that script, npm run dev, this is what it's doing. It's just calling the device, which is starting it. Then, if I also want to build, I can use npm run build, right? Then, um, I can use npm run build. I can use npm run build. Then if I want to preview, I can use an npm run preview and so on and so forth. Then these are my dependencies. Now, when I install any package, it will be listed here, right? The local dependencies and dev dependencies, things that needs to be constant, I must be there. Then I have my README file. What the README file is that if I go to my GitHub, or if I should push this code to GitHub, this will be shown there, just like a documentation of the product of the project. So by the time you are done and you want to make this like how will I put it, an open source project, you can write your documentation so that those coming in to contribute will know how to go about it. Then I have the VJS config. Don't need to bother yourself about this, like I said. Then the main aim of focus, or the main focus, will be on my source folder, right? So this is where it will be. Now, if you look at my front end, what I'm having this and I'm having this as well. So where are those guys coming from, right? Now, if I go to my source, if I go to components, I have the hello world.view, right? If you notice, there's a sentence say you've successfully created a project with Vite and Vue. So let's go back. Where is it on the browser? Hmm. This is, you've successfully created a project with Vite and Vue. Can you see what's happening? So this is my home and about. So when I come to about, this is what is happening. So they've already set up the routing and showed us how to use it itself, right? So if you notice, the page is not reloading. Like I said, for single page applications, the page does not reload. So let me go back. Let me go back. So that's for that. I think I'm too zoomed in. Let me try to zoom out a bit. Okay, good. Now, this is my style. If you notice, the Vue.js contains a Vue.js file consists of three parts. Now, what are the parts? It has the template, the script, and the style. So it's very easy, just like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript on a single file, right? So now this is my script. But what you see me do most during my class and so on and so forth, I will go with the template first before the script, before this style. So please take note. Whichever way you are doing it is also correct, right? So I have a template, which is the HTML part. I have a script, which is what's it called, the JavaScript part, right? And I have a style, right? Then you can see my media code. Now this style has a scoped attribute. Now this scope we see it later on. What this scope simply means, it simply means that this style will be applied only to this file, so that there will not be conflict in style. If I remove the scope, there will tend to be a conflict. Maybe you are running a child inside a parent component and you didn't scope it. There will be conflict within the CSS style. So please take note. Then this is the welcome template, sorry, the welcome component. So this is it, heading documentation, which is this part you can see over here. Where this part documentation and so on and so forth. And there's also one last component. Let me just try to rush it. The welcome, blah 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 blah. So you see the same thing: template, script, and style. Right now, where are they rendered? Where are they rendered? Now, if you look at my home view, right? Now the home view consists of the welcome view component. You can see inside my script, I'm bringing it, right? The welcome view component. Is that not so? And inside of my welcome view component, I have the welcome item, and I also have the welcome item. I think, where is this documentation? Okay, document. I'm looking for the yellow word. The yellow word. Okay, I don't think it's here. I don't think it's here, but we'll see it later. So you can see inside of this home view, I have the welcome, right? The inside of my app.js, that is where I have the yellow words. Can you see it? Remember, the yellow words are the left hand side. So there's some styling that has already been applied, right? Then also, I now have the what's it called? Um, I have the hello world, then which other stuff is there again? Okay, I have the home component, which is a routing to the home component and also a routing to the about. You get. So please take note of that. So these are the connections. For a beginner, it will look somehow scary and hard to follow and so on and so forth. But by the time we start working with it, breaking it into parts, you notice that it's very easy. I'm coming. I'm trying to send the reply to the admin. Okay, so you guys will get the assignment. We get it tonight, so please take note of that. So if you didn't see it, Or I will still ask you. I will ask you do if it's not on your dashboard, I will also remind him. So please take note of that. Now, like I said, this is what we'll get. So I don't want to, what will I say? I don't want us to work with this because definitely we are not going to work with this. So we're going to be removing something. So for today's class, you guys have learned the installation. You guys will go practice it, then try to render component to the web page. So what will happen is this inside of my app.view, right? Inside this app.view, I'm going to remove some things. Now I don't want to remove the router view because okay, should I? Okay, I'll remove it. Let me just remove everything. Remove this header down to this part. So I don't think comment will work with here. So let me just delete. So I'm going to delete all of this, save. Okay, I'm going to delete all of this and save. Then also, so by the time we get back to the browser, you notice that this thing is no longer there. Remember, that's all of the stuff that have been rendered on the web page before. So please take note. That's why it's like that. Then also, there's a CSS styling that is working there. So which is this CSS style. So I'm going to remove them as well. Right. So by the time I save, I'm only left with com. So let me just say style scoped. You get now. Let me go back and reload. So okay, that I don't think the style is coming from there. So let's check if there's a global CSS file, which of course there is supposed to be one. So let's go to this base.css and highlight everything, right? Let's go to the main, okay, and highlight everything as well. Okay, so let's go back. I want to have it. Okay, good. It's now white in color. Then also there's something I want to do. Let's go back. So we're just trying to clear off everything, right? That's for my asset, then my hello world component. We can delete all of these components, right? But I will delete just two, which is the welcome and this one. So let me just delete these two, right? Then inside of my hello world, I will highlight everything and delete it, right? So let's go back to the browser and let's see now. This is telling us that we have an issue. They say at least one template or screen. Okay, the reason is because we are having a what's it called? We deleted some things and part of them are still here, right? So let's go to this home view. So I think this is it. So let me see the welcome view. Let me see the welcome view. Deleted welcome view now. App. Okay. Let me just remove this one. Hello world is empty, right? I think it is in my routing. Okay, it's on my routing. It's on my routing. Let me see. Uh, okay, let's see. They say the welcome fail to resolve component the welcome views from source view slash home view. Does this file exist? But I've saved. I'm coming inside my home view. I'm supposed to remove this guy. So that's to say I'm trying to import something that does not exist. That's why it's giving that error. So if you notice now, everything is not clear. Let me see if we're following. So good, we're following. So let us try to render a component on the browser. Then let's see how it goes. Let us try to render a component and let's see how it goes. Right. So now I'll come back to my hello world.view. So this is a view component. So like I said, I will have my template. Inside of template, let me just say h1 and I'll say hello world, right? Or let me say hello VueJS, right? And I will have a script just in case I want to import something later on. So if you notice, this thing is already giving me what is it called? It's already giving me some kind of plugin or something. That was because I installed an extension. So if you've not installed this extension, this won't work for you like this, right? So I'm coming. If you see, it's already giving me style scopes and everything. Now the name of the extension is called Vitor or Vuta. I can't really pronounce it. Let me just say, let me go over to my extension, right? Let me go over to my extension. See, Jesus, I need to be at somewhere by two. So I will look for a way to round up very early, please. My class is supposed to be from 12 to 1:30 or so. But now it's just like the time is running very fast. And where I'm going to is kind of far from where I am. So let's just see Victor. Or let me see installed extension. Okay, installed extensions. So let's see. Uh, okay, good. This is the extension you guys will install, right? Vita extension. So please take note. So after the class, I think a video of this should be uploaded, or even if it's not uploaded, just take a basic knowledge of this class. Try to open your what's it called, your terminal. Just try to do something. Read from the documentation. Just try to do something. You get it. My DM is also open on the Slack channel. You can ask a question. So now let's try to render something on this page. Let's see what will happen. So by the time I go back to my what's it called? By the time I go back to my LOV, remember I've already written something. So let's see, this LOV is being passed down to my um let me see, it's being passed down to any of these components. So I think if I pass it down to this place, it will work. So let me just do something. I'll say import. Uh, okay, good. It's already here. So if import hello world from component slash view. So it's already here. So by the time I go back, um, I'll reload. Why is it not coming? Oh, I've not what's it called? I've not embedded the component, so I'm supposed to come here and do something like hello world. Is it going to work this way? If it doesn't work that way, there's also another way. Or let me just see the welcome. Must work like this. Uh, let's see. Mm, let's see if this is okay. I have a component. Oh. I'm supposed to, there's something I'm supposed to do here. I'm supposed to register something. Okay, there's something I'm supposed to do. After importing it, uh, okay. After importing, there's something I'm supposed to do, I guess. So let's see. Now, if you go to this, what is it called? If I come back to this guy, initially, I'm coming to, this was what we had initially. So let me just control, control Z. So I want to show you something. This is what we had initially. Now, after creating your component, I think you're supposed to export it. You get, you're supposed to export it, then import it on the other part you are using it on. So please take note of that, take note of that, take note of that, take note of that. So let me just, all right, so this is my script. So let me do something like export. So I'm supposed to export. So let me do something like export default, right? Then I'll give it a name. I'm supposed to give it a name. So I'll do something like name. We see something like hello world. I think this is what I'm supposed to do. Then inside of my app.view, right, where I'm using this, I'm supposed to import it here as well. So after doing this importation, I'm still supposed to do something like this. So where is it? App.view. I'm supposed to embed this guy here as well. I'm coming. Let me try to. Um, sorry. You know what? This thing is really kind of clashing with what I've done before. It's clashing with what I've done before. So what will happen is this. Let's just try to. I think I will delete most of this stuff. I'll delete most of this stuff to get a folder structure that is similar to what I've done. Because if you look at this, there are a lot of stuff here, and I've deleted many stuff as well. So what will happen? Let me just look at this folder structure and what I did before, just to get the clarity of it. So inside of my source, okay, I have my component, hello world, right? Then I have my source, hello world. Then my app.view. Still the same thing. Though. Why is it not coming? Still the same thing. Um, Still the same thing. So what will happen is let me just Ctrl Z to where we were before. Then for subsequent classes, when I install the project, I think I will need to delete everything and start all over. I think that would be better. So because of time is not on my side. So let me just come back to component, hello world view. Or let's just create a new stuff again. Let's just create a new stuff again. For my next class, we'll continue from this one. How to so let's just create a new one again. Because of time, there's no time. I need to be at somewhere, right? So we'll continue from this Vue CLI. That's the project. That's the folder we'll continue from. So I'll delete this. Then let me make a new one. So if you remember, the step is npm create, right? So that was what we used. So let me just go back and what was it called? Look for the quick start. Uh, Copy this and let's use that one. Um, Sorry. So let's just do the same thing. Then I will explain it again. Then we'll go over and try to compare. Right? Because normally what I do whenever I install any of this front end framework, what I do is just that I delete everything over there. Like I delete the component, the everything. I will create them on my own. That's what I normally do. I guess so. I don't know. I just wanted to, because I'm in a hurry, I just wanted to see if I could just comment some of the code and see if it will work. But it seems like I'm making a mistake somewhere. So for the next class, we'll go over it slow and steady. So let's just call it VJS. That's if it's VJS is not an empty direction. Okay, sorry. Um, I have something already called Vue project before, so let me just create something else. So I will remove this and this so that on our next class, these are the two things we'll be comparing. You get so let's 119 already. Jesus, for our current tables. So I will say Zuri, Vue CLI. And I will say test, or I will call this one demo. You get no, I'm coming. Um, no. Uh, okay. Okay. So okay, I think it's done. So I'll say cd Zuri, right? Vue CLI demo, right? And I'll say npm install. That was what we did now, right? And I'll say npm run dev. So I guess you are still with me. Please let me just be sure you guys are with me. Let me just be sure you guys are with me. I guess you are still
Yeah,
with me.
yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, on the next class, we'll continue with that Zulu CLI stuff. We'll delete all of those stuff. I don't want to comment code and start coming back. Remember, that gave us an issue when we were doing that stuff the other day, something like that. So I'm really not a fan of that. When I install a new
Yeah.
project, I tend to delete all of those stuff. If you look, it's kind of complicated. What we even do won't be difficult up to that extent. You get? So that's just it. So let's go. So I will say cd install sorry, npm install rather, npm install, right? And after running my npm install, I will run npm run dev. Then we'll call it a day for today. Then by tomorrow, I think our class tomorrow is by what time again? Npm run dev. What time is our class tomorrow? I think it's 1 or so. I can't remember. So maybe we take longer than what we are supposed to do. Like we add more time to it. Okay, look, I was 5-1-7-4. If you notice, the first one was 5-1-7-3. So this will try to, look for a new stuff. So this is just it. So on the next class, we'll compare like what these guys did, and we try to do our own way of doing it, such that we see how easy it is to set up all of this stuff and so on and so forth. So thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate you guys.
So I have one question, please.
Okay, sure. Ask a question.
Eh, Um, the I don't know, like And did you use when you were creating it just I saw setup and I saw scope. I I noticed that there's the option API and there's composition API. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so is it the option API or the composition API we are to use? Because I think they are
Okay.
they
Now
differ.
for this class, or for clarity things, now there's what we call the option API, there's also what we call the composition API. But if you compare them or if you've done your studies, you know that the option API is simpler compared to the composition API. So for this class, we'll be learning the options API. You get. So maybe do okay. For class, we'll be learning the option API. Let's just leave it that way. So when the class starts properly, you tend to understand what we're trying to talk. Just like the way in React, there's class-based component, there's function-based component. So you have to pick one. Like you can learn both of them, but it's just that one is easier compared to the other one. So for this class, we'll be learning the options API. Though if there is still time, I might talk about the composition API, just like to explain or give you a reference material. So is there any other question?
No, that's all.
Okay. No other person. Temi Tokpe, HP, Timothy, and okay, Andrew just Macedo.
No, there's no question.
Okay, so don't worry. By tomorrow we'll continue our setup. So thank you guys for joining, and hope to see you guys tomorrow. I think this timing is better compared to afternoon class because my previous classes will be holding them by what's it called? It's not sometimes two, sometimes three, and the turnout is usually kind of low. But I think this early class is just a bit better. So by tomorrow's class is by one. So please do well to join. But if you didn't join the class, the video of it will also be available for you guys to go through. Okay. So I need to run. This is 124 G's, and where I'm going, I don't even know the place. Like my first time going there. So thank you very much, guys, for joining. I really do appreciate it. See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
All right. So just try and revise something. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.